What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the debut album from the band Illimitable Dolor, entitled Illimitable Dolor. This is released on Transcending Obscurity Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of New South Wales, Australia, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very sorrowful, sombering, atmospheric hybrid of both doom metal and death metal. Yeah. There are many intriguing factors to me getting interested in this project. One of those things being that some of the people involved in this band were once involved in a very, very good death metal band also based out of Australia entitled Backyard Mortuary. They put out a very, very good album entitled Lure of the Occult, which of course was released internationally and got picked up for North American release through Dark Descent. But unfortunately that band split up, and some of the people involved in that band went on to join a funeral doom project called The Slow Death, which I believe is a very well-established band in its own right, putting out very, very beautifully done doom metal, great full-length albums, and a very esteemed roster of talented people behind it. Unfortunately, in 2014, The Slow Death suffered a very big loss with the passing of their vocalist, Greg Williamson. And a project like Illimitable Dolor was something bound to happen, because this is pretty much, in a very interesting sort of way, this is a tribute to their fallen comrade in their Slow Death vocalist. And in getting together members from the Slow Death and other assorted talented bands from that country, we have the very first full-length from Illimitable Dolor, their self-titled album. It's 4 tracks, and it clocks in at around 44 minutes in length, so pretty much every single track runs past at least 9 or 10 or 12 minutes or so. But within these lengthy songs, you get just as much raw, primal power, talent, and emotion behind every single song on here, and it makes for a very, very amazing album to listen to if you're into doom metal, preferably death metal and doom metal from the early 90s. That's one of the major vibes I get from listening to this album. And one thing that really makes this stand out a lot is the way the guitar work sounds. There is just so much emotion and beauty coming from these guitar riffs. You hear it on the opening track, Rail of Moon, a Stone, to later songs like Salt of Brazen Seas and Abandoned Cuts of River. I mean, every single song on here has a meaning, a purpose, and a motive behind it. And a lot of these guitar riffs that are being played on this album sound very, very wonderful. It's joyous to listen to, and it really makes you feel for what type of content is going on with a record like this. The bass work on here is very good too. Definitely maintains a very good and smooth balance to the almost epic and soaring moments of the guitar riffs. Everything on here sounds very, very well placed and wonderful. The drumming on here is pretty much par of the course for a doom metal record. It's very methodical, very slow-paced, but yet when things do begin to pick up, you begin to appreciate what type of a force this drummer is. He does a really, really sensational job behind the drum kit with the way every instrumentation on the drum kit sounds. It's really wonderful. Once again, going to the beginning of this record and the middle parts of this album, it really does sound amazing to listen to. And the keyboard work here is amazing too. It adds that extra level of depth and substance to all of the songs that are being done on here. It's a really, really nice element to the overall heaviness of this album. And the vocals on here sound very wonderful too. A lot of heavy growls being implemented on here, and they are done so with a lot of emotion and a lot of passion. I love this vocalist's style. He really makes you pay attention to what's going on, and especially when it comes to the more in-depth, heart-to-heart sort of lyrics that this album brings. You can tell that there is a lot of grief and pain behind some of these vocals, and this guy really does a tremendous job of conveying that conviction very, very well. So overall, if you're a fan of funeral doom metal, if you're into doom metal or death metal, a band like Illimitable Dolor is definitely something to be on the lookout for. I'm very happy that this album exists, and this is probably one of my favorite doom metal releases of this year so far, so I cannot recommend this album enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you links to the songs Comet Dies of Shines and Abandoned Cuts of River. Both are streaming officially on their respective Transcending Obscurity YouTube and my good buddy Matt at the Metal Vault. And I will also leave you a link to where you can purchase a physical CD. I believe it's limited to 500 copies internationally. So yeah, again, the album is Illimitable Dolor by Illimitable Dolor. This is released on Transcending Obscurity Records. Go support this and support the label as well. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 8.5 out of 10. Very beautifully done and executed doom metal. Probably one of the best doom metal releases to come from 2017. So, are any of you guys into Illimitable Dolor? Definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Armijo out.